Hello everyone. Today's video's lecture we are going to discuss about chemical bonding. So first we will discuss about the introduction of chemical bonding, then we'll discuss about the octet rule concept, then we'll discuss about the bond parameters, and parameters are like bond length, bond angle, bond order and bond enthalpy. So let's start. So introduce this topic, first we have to understand elements, atoms. I think this is well known and clear concept. So I guess you already know about atoms and molecules, right? So maximum if you'll see that elements, they try to exist in the form of combined state. So those are known as molecules. And there are few elements which exist in the form of their elemental state. For an example, if you'll see that gold or silver or platinum, these elements, they are very less reactive, so they try to exist their elemental state. And maximum elements, they will find in the form of combined state. So most of these elements as a molecule which are in cluster of atoms, right? For an example, you can see that oxygen or nitrogen or ozone, O3. Okay, so there is a question: how do atoms combine to form molecules, and why do atom combines? Okay, this is very basic concept. Why do atom combine? So to understand those concepts, we have to study the chemical bonding topic. And a molecule will only form if it is in the more stable and has a lower energy. What is the meaning of this? C, O2, N2, or ozone, or you can say that any other hydrogen. Okay, so why these elements will form? They will form because there is a force of attraction, and this molecule has very less amount of energy in them, so they will try to exist or try to have a stable state. So that's why molecule is going to form. Next one, chemical bonds. What are bonds? Bonds are the force that act between two or more atoms to hold them together and as a stable molecule. For an example, if we'll consider for an example NaCl. Okay, so NaCl, there is a force of attraction. So NaCl, force of attraction is between sodium ion and Cl minus ion. So how this sodium ion has formed? There are various elements in the periodic table. In the left hand side, we will maximum find the metal. In the right hand side, we will find out the non-metals. So what happens? Generally, there is a force of attraction between elements having positive and elements having negative charge. As we from the physics, as we all know, positive and negative charge, they will attract to each other. So this force of attraction drives them to combine a state or to combine a stable state which has less in energy. This process accompanied by the decrease in energy. That means whenever any molecule will form, they try to have minimum energy. Decrease in energy is directly proportional to the strength of the bond. That means the lesser the amount of energy, the more is the stability. Next, we will discuss about the Lewis octet rule. Okay, so every atom has a tendency to complete its octet. That means every element or atom, they will try to acquire 8 electron in their valency shell. For an example, you can see that sodium. Okay, sodium 2, 8, 1. After losing 1 electron, it will have 2, 8. That is 8 electron in its valency shell. Okay. Next one is hydrogen has the tendency to complete its duplet. Hydrogen cannot form 8 electron around its surrounding because hydrogen only can have only one shell, and it will in one shell maximum 2 electrons are allowed. To acquire the inert gas configuration, atom loses or gain electron or share electrons. For an example, sodium. Sodium has 1 electron in its valency shell, so it will try to lose the electron. Whereas if we consider the chlorine atom, so chlorine is 287. So chlorine will try to gain 1 electron to get 8 electron in their outermost shell. So that is 2, 8 and 8. Okay. So this is the Lewis dot structure of water molecule, oxygen, and 2 hydrogen. This one is oxygen and 2 hydrogen. Okay, so मैंने इसको कैसे किया? First you have to remember oxygen, the outermost electron present in oxygen is 6. जैसे ऑक्सीजन यहाँ पे है, so ऑक्सीजन के outermost में 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन है, 1 2 3 4 and 5 and 6. As we already know that hydrogen can share one electron with other element. So हाइड्रोजन के पास ऑलरेडी एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है, तो ये क्या करता है ना, इस ऑक्सीजन के साथ शेयर करता है, और यहाँ पे भी इस ऑक्सीजन के साथ ये इलेक्ट्रॉन शेयर करता है. So this is the structure. This is the duplet one because hydrogen cannot form more than 2 electron. And if you consider the whole number, so आपको यहाँ पे अगर पूरा का पूरा कंसिडर करोगे तो यहाँ पे 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन आपको दिखेगा, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is the process how we did the Lewis dot structure of water molecule. So आप अपने घर पे ये क्वेश्चंस ट्राई कर सकते हो. Let me try this. Draw the Lewis dot structure of N2. N2 को कैसे करेंगे? हमें पता है नाइट्रोजन का इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन क्या होता है? 2 and 5. दैट मीन्स नाइट्रोजन के आउटर मोस्ट में 5 इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रेजेंट है. सो नाइट्रोजन 1 2 3 4 5 and another nitrogen 1 2 3 4 5. सो यहाँ पे अगर आप सर्कल करोगे और यहाँ पे अगर आप सर्कल करोगे तो टोटल आपको दिखेगा कि बोथ द नाइट्रोजन एटम में इस सर्कल में देखो आपको 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन है, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, और इस सर्कल में भी 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. तो इस तरीके से आप नाइट्रोजन का लुईस डॉट स्ट्रक्चर बना सकते हो. मैं थोड़ा और क्लियरली मैं आपको बना देता हूँ. नाइट्रोजन 1 2 3 1 2 3 नाइट्रोजन, so that you won't have any confusion. टेक्निकली ये क्या होता है कि कुछ इस तरीके से हम लोग रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. नाइट्रोजन एक सिंगल बॉन्ड मतलब 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन, सो देयर आर 3 बॉन्ड्स प्रेजेंट इन बिटवीन 2 नाइट्रोजन एटम. सो ये नाइट्रोजन का मॉलिक्यूल का स्ट्रक्चर हो गया. नेक्स्ट विल ट्राई टू ड्रॉ द लुईस स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ऑक्सीजन O2. So as we already know that oxygen electronic configuration is 2,6. So that means 6 electron is around one oxygen atom. So one oxygen atom O 1 2 3 4 5 6, and this oxygen atom is going to combine with another oxygen atom. So this one is another one, 1 2 5 6. So as I already told you, 2 electron, they will create one single bond. So this can be represented as oxygen, double bond, oxygen, and 4 electron here and 4 electron here. Next slide, we are going to discuss about the exceptions of octet rule. So what are the 3 exceptions? First exception is the hypovalent, second exception hypervalent, and the third one is odd number of electron. Let us go one by one. What are hypovalent molecule? Hypovalent molecule means electron deficient molecule, remember. So that the statement says that the compound in which octet is no completed or not completed in the outermost orbit of the central atom. Remember, this one is center atom. That means the center atom do not possess 8 electron around the whole molecule. So see what is the structure of BF3. Boron has 3 electron in its outermost orbit, and fluorine, it will going to share with 1 electron. So as I see that, if we'll compare, if we'll circle this one, there are total 6 electron around the central atom. So you can also draw this structure also, be drawing F3. So as I already told you, one single bond means 2 electron. That means total 6 electron around the BF3 molecule, and this molecule is stable one. So these type of examples are the electron deficient molecule or hypovalent molecule. You can also draw the structure of AlCl3. AlCl3 is Al, Cl, Cl and Cl. Okay. And BCl3 is similarly B, Cl, Cl and Cl3. So all the center atom has 6 electron, but still these molecules are more stable. Next one we will discuss about the hypervalent molecule or electron rich molecule. That means if the center atom has more than 8 electron around, then we will call it as hypervalent molecule. So the compound in which center atom has more than 8 electron. So what is the structure of PCl3? For the time being, as we already know, this phosphorus has 5 electron in its valency. How do you know it's 5 electron? Just I will give you one example, PCl5. See, phosphorus, as we already know, that 2, 8, 10, 5. So that means 5 electron around the center atom. So phosphorus, we are drawing that, and 5 chlorine atom. So it is going to form this type of structure, 5. So this one is Cl, 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 Cl and Cl. So see, one single bond, 2 electron, that means total is 10. So 5 into 2. Why 5 into 2? Because one single bond has 2 electron. So total 10 number of electron around the phosphorus. So it is more than 8, then such examples will be hypervalent molecule. You can also say that SF6 is sulfur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is F, 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 F and F. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 2, 12. 12 electron are around the sulfur atom. Next one is the odd electron molecule. Odd electron molecule means the center atom has odd number of electron in their outermost cell. So odd number of electron, let's see, nitrogen. So nitrogen, as you already know, NO structure is N double bond O and 3 electron. Okay, and here it's 2 electron NO structure. So if you'll circle this one, how many electrons are there around this nitrogen? 2 bonds means 4 electron, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 is a odd number. So odd number of electron are there. So similarly, you can do the NO2 structure. So nitrogen, O, O, and one single. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bond means 8 electron plus 1, 9. So this is the odd electron molecule. You just remember the example. Objective questions may ask you about which of these followings are odd electron molecules. So you can write the examples of NO, NO2 or ClO2. Next one, we're going to discuss about the bond length. What is the bond length? The bond length is defined as the nucleic distance between two covalent bonded atom in the molecule. So that means, as we already discussed, a center atom, let's suppose it is going to combine with 3 atom. Okay, so that means there must be some distance between this center atom as well as this, or this to this, or this to this. So the nuclear distance between center atom and outer atom, this is known as bond length. Okay, so as we already know, there are few compounds or molecules in our lower class, for example water, or you can say CH4, or you can say acetic acid. Every atom is attached with some other atoms. Okay, it may be single bond, it may be double bond, or it may be triple bond. For an example, if he is asking about the single bond, so you can give the example of fluorine. So fluorine is F single bond F. If he'll ask about the double bond, so as we know, oxygen is double bonded O and O, and nitrogen N2 is N triple bond N. So the distance between these two atoms, this is known as bond length. Okay, BL, bond length. And the distance between this atom and this atom, so there are double bonded, obviously. What happens, single bond length is more than the double bond length and more than the triple bond length, because triple bond length is the shortest one compared to this one. Generally, we can say that because the force of attraction between these two atoms are very high. So if force of attraction is high, that means bond length must be less. Okay, so there are few bond lengths are given. Carbon and hydrogen, single bond length is 107. Carbon 154 picometer. Carbon double bond 133 picometer, and triple bond is 120 picometer. Okay, you don't have to remember all the formula, all the bond length, but you just try to remember these two, C triple bond C and double bond C, and you can also consider this one. So if you compare these three bond lengths, as you see that carbon carbon triple bond length is 120 picometer, double bond is 133, and single bond is 154. That means if you'll compare their bond length, so carbon carbon bond length is more than carbon carbon double bond and carbon carbon triple bond. So next one we are going to discuss about the bond angle. So what is the meaning of bond angle? Bond angle is defined as the angle between covalent bond around the, this is covalent bond around the central atom in a molecule. So that means this is the center atom and this is the bond length. Okay, so the bond angle means the angle created between these two covalent bond. So this angle is known as bond angle. Here you can see that nitrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen, this one is the bond angle. Here it will be, this is bond angle. So what is the bond angle in water molecule? Water is 104.5 degree. Okay, and this one is what we call NH3. NH3 is ammonia. So ammonia is 107. This one is methane, CH4. So 109.5. Next, we are going to discuss about the bond order. So what is the meaning of bond order? It is defined as the number of bond present between two atoms in a molecule. Is asking about the number of bonds. So bond order may be 1, 2, and 3. So maximum 3 in between two atoms. You can say that a maximum 3 bonds are possible. Okay. So 4 bond is not possible between two atoms. So there are, you will take the example H2, Cl2 and F2. If you consider the H2, what is the structure of H2? H, single bond H. So how many bonds are present? Only one. So the bond order is 1. You can take the example of Cl2, Cl bond Cl. How many bonds are there? Only 1. So the bond order is 1. F2. How many bonds are there? Only 1. So bond order is 1. Next, oxygen. Oxygen bond order is 2. How it is 2? Oxygen, double bond, oxygen. How many bonds are there? 2 bonds. That means the bond order is 2. Next one is N2. N2 bond order is 3. How N2 bond order is 3? You see nitrogen, triple bond, nitrogen. How many bonds are there? 3. That means the bond order is 3. Next one. Sometime the question may ask you about the resonating structure. What is the meaning of resonating structure? You just follow my resonance lecture, you will understand. In the brief way I'm explaining, resonating structures are the structures where any structure can be represented as 2 or more structure, and none of the structure can represent the exact structure energy of this molecule. So what happens, there are different structure we are representing. For an example, if we'll take the example of ozone. Okay, so ozone means we can write the ozone structure is oxygen, double bond, and there is a single bond. Okay, so this is known as pi bond. You will later know and you understand what is the meaning of pi and what is the meaning of sigma. Okay, so generally there is this pi bond is distributed among these 3 atoms. Okay, so I am going to take only single structure. So for the time being, just remember this is the structure of O3. Okay, if we'll compare the bond order of O3, if this is our ozone structure, the total number of bond in the molecule, how many bonds are there? Total number of bonds, that is 1, 2 and 3. So if we'll calculate the bond order, so first one is 3 divided by resonating structure. Resonating structure, this will form 2 resonating structures. So this is 2. So what is 3 by 2? 1.5. If we'll take the example of carbonate ion, carbon, double bond, O, single bond minus, here it will be O minus. So bond order will be, our total number of bond is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is 4 divided by this bond. This is known as pi bond. This pi bond can be represented as here, here, or here. So how many resonating structures are there? 3. Just calculate how many pi bonds are there and it can circulate in this bonds. So 4 by 3 is 1.33. Next one is phosphate. Phosphate is P double bond O, O minus, O minus, and O minus. How many bonds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bonds are there, divided by how many resonating structure is possible? See this, there is a double bond, right? So this double bond, one of that bond can be represented here. Here one of the structure, here another structure. It can be represented here also, and here also. Okay. So how many structures are there? One structure if it represented here. If it is represented here, then second structure, third structure, and fourth structure. So it will be 4. So 5 by 4 is 1.25. Next, we are going to discuss about the bond energy. Bond energy means is defined as the amount of energy required to break one mole of bond from the particular type. As we know that if it is any molecule, so there will be single bond, double bond, or triple bond, right? So if you want to separate those molecules and it want to convert that into their atoms, for an example, you see hydrogen molecule. So what is the structure of hydrogen molecule? Hydrogen, single bond, hydrogen. If you want to break this bond, okay, so that amount of energy is required. You want to breaking, so whenever you are breaking, you are giving the energy. So you are giving the energy, so you are breaking the bond, so it will be converted to into its atom. So that amount of energy is known as bond energy. Okay, so to break this hydrogen bond, the amount of energy required, that is del H. This is del H is known as enthalpy. Okay, so as we are providing the energy, so the amount of energy should be positive, and this one is 435 kilojoule per mole. Second one coming to oxygen. So oxygen, as you already know, there is a double bond. So if you want to break two bonds, obviously that these two bonds will require more energy than the hydrogen. So to break this double bond, 498 kilojoule per mole amount of energy is. Next, bond energy in halogen. So you just remember halogen, the bond energy maximum is Cl2, Br2, F2, and I2. Here you can see that there is one exception why F2 is less bond energy than Br2, because you see that fluorine, if you'll see that fluorine, as the size of fluorine is very, very small, and because of electronic repulsion, you can write, this is a very good question, because of electronic repulsion, in fluorine, bond energy is less. Okay, so you see that if two atoms, if they are closely packed, there must be some electronic repulsion. Because of that reason, the bond energy in F2 is less than the Br2 in Cl2. If you want to connect with me in my social media account, my Instagram ID is this one. If you want to connect with me, my Twitter account, my Twitter handle is this. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe the channel EdChem and like this video. Thank you all.